it's one of those things where
Frank, I'm really doing a good, you're doing a good job.
I used to
and then for
be a
council
part of the
ready?
audit team for
Chair,
government.
All right, it is 6 o'clock on Monday, November 6th, 2023. We'll call our meeting to order. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we have the roll call?
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Callister.
Yes.
Coolman. Alinger.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
All right, next is approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion by Callister,
Second.
seconded by Holm. If there's no discussion, take the roll.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Callister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Item 5 is public participation. Is there anyone in the council who'd like to address us? Anyone on Zoom? If not, we move on. Next is presentations, and it'll be the presentation of the Sikich 22-23 audit report.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Nick Bava is on the Zoom tonight. He's the partner for Sikich that's in charge of our profile. Nick, I have made you a co-host for your presentation here shortly, but just to brief you all, this concludes our audit, and we'll be submitting reports hopefully this next month. I'll hand it over to Nick, and he can explain the results and take any questions if you have them about the performance of the city.
Wonderful. Thanks, Josh. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
No.
Okay. I will share my screen. And Josh, if you don't mind, just confirm that you're seeing everything okay.
Not yet. It just reads Nick Bava has started screen sharing.
It looks like it's currently loading.
Nick, I think you guys need to have fiber internet over there. BLB does pretty well here.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Well, while this is loading, if it does load, great. If not, I can walk everyone through the results of the audit. I don't think my presentation is going to take too much time tonight. But just to introduce myself real quick on behalf of Sikich, again, my name is Nick Bava. I am the partner that oversees the city's audit. I'd like to thank the mayor and members of city council for having me here on Zoom tonight to present the results of the city's audit as of June 30th, 2023. Ultimately, as part of the audit process, we issue 3 deliverables in front of you tonight for your review and approval. The annual financial report, which is the audit report, the auditor's communication to the members of city council, and then we issued a single audit report, which is a deliverable that may or may not happen any given fiscal year, depending on grant spending. So we'll highlight some items out of the annual financial report tonight, but we'll be happy to answer any questions that council might have related to this year's audit. So in the annual financial report, if you are able to follow along, again, I apologize with the screen share not working. We'll start on the independent auditor's report, which is on page 1 of the document. It has Sikich letterhead at the top. This section is our audit opinion. It's the most important section of the audit report, right? It documents and articulates our opinion on the financial statements. And that first page there, front and center, scripts out our opinion on these financial statements. It used to be on the second page. Auditing standards have shifted the location of this section, and it's nice right in center there for you to review. So a few things I'd like to point out of these first 2 paragraphs. We did audit the financial statements of the city's governmental activities, business type activities. So those would be your utilities, the discretely presented component unit, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the city as of June 30th, 2023. It's important to point out that we did not audit the financial statements of the Maquoketa Municipal Electric Utility, which is a discretely presented component unit. Those are audited by other auditors, and that information is included in this report tonight. The second paragraph on the opinion section documents that the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position on a cash basis of those cities' opinion units, so your governmental activities, your business type activities, and each major fund. So This is what we refer to as an unmodified opinion. It is a clean opinion, and it's the highest level of assurance that we as auditors can provide the city as part of an annual audit. So good news on that end. Congratulate the city for, for obtaining that opinion. On the second page, page number 2, it's important to understand the division of responsibility when undergoing a financial statement audit. The second paragraph on page number 2 articulates that the responsibilities of the financial statements lie with management. It's management's role to prepare these financial statements in accordance with the accounting principles adopted by the city. The second paragraph, or the paragraph immediately following, titled Auditor's Responsibility, documents that it's our responsibility to develop an opinion based on a few sets of standards that are set by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Those standards dictate how we audit, how we test, how we sample. And we're also governed by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, that's GASB, which dictate the content and format in the report tonight. On page number 3, the bottom of page number 3, there's a section titled Other Reporting Required by Government Auditing Standards. This is essentially making a reference to the single audit report that I had referred to as a separate deliverable. So every year, as part of an annual audit, we have to evaluate the spending of federal grant dollars from July 1st to June 30th. In terms of compliance requirements, anytime the city spends greater than $750,000 in federal grant awards, they have to undergo certain compliance tests and requirements based on those programs that exceeded that $750,000. So in the case of the city during this fiscal year, the large project tied to the Platt Street project, there is a little bit over, right around $2 million in federal grant spending related to the Platt Street project. Overall, there was $4 million in total federal expenditures. So another high volume year as far as federal grant expenditures and spending is concerned. Pleased to report that there were no instances of non-compliance or question costs associated with those tests. So, a clean report card with the single audit, which is really what you want to have every year when you're dealing with federal grant money. So, good news as far as that individual report is concerned. Pages number 4 and 5, I just wanted to point out to council tonight that while these might look new in comparison to the 2022 report, this independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting used to be located in the single audit report. We just underwent a firm-wide quality control initiative to ultimately include that in the financial statement audit report to ensure that the date of this report and the issuance of this report was in conjunction with the issuance of your independent auditor's report or your financial statement audit opinion. So highlighting the results on page number 5, you'll just note that the report on compliance and other matters, we didn't have any instances of non-compliance or other matters that required to be reported under government auditing standards. So again, I know that's a little long-winded breakdown of the opinions, but again, the most important sections of these financial statements. So I'll wrap my comments up there. I just would like to extend my thanks to Josh, Andrea, and Judy for their assistance throughout the process. We're here, I know early November, but the reports were finalized with the city a few weeks ago. So everything went very efficiently and very smoothly, and we're grateful for their assistance and everyone else's that helped us throughout the process. So again, thank you for having me. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Nick, this is Josh speaking. We weren't able to view your presentation, and I had counted on that presentation being available for the council to see and to follow along with. I think there's one council person up here with their actual audit book in front of them right now. Otherwise, it's been given to them by email when it was available. Since we didn't get to follow along in this presentation, would you mind explaining this in an email to me so that I can distribute it out to the council that way, so they have also an additional understanding of what you're communicating and what you're presenting. So I'm requesting just an email kind of summarizing what you offered as well, so that we have a full grasp on it.
Absolutely, yeah. I apologize for the internet issues, and we'll send over to you, Josh, as soon as I'm able.
Does anybody have any questions? Is this something we don't have to vote on anything here, do we?
No, it was just a presentation of the results, and if you had questions over policies, procedures, controls, Nick's available for that now. I'm pleased to know we have an unmodified opinion regarding the audit. You know, these things about separations of duty with a staff of 4 people is very, very difficult. But, you know, we consulted with places like DeWitt over the last year to try to better put our procedures in line with what they do. And so I know that a couple of those items got downgraded in concern through this last process, but they probably won't ever fall off in auditors, I guess, fraud risk. You know, they can't say that risk won't happen in the future with a staff our size.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, we'll move on. All right, thank you, Nick. Next public hearing, and we have no public hearings. Item 8 is our consent agenda, consisting of the minutes from October 16th, 2023 regular city council meeting. Our bills payable through November 6th, 2023 in the amount of $208,100.14. Okay, motion by Lyon, motion by Lyon.
Second.
Seconded by Alinger. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay, we start off with old business, and it is ordinance number 1210. Ordinance amending section 2-17-13 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa, to establish a franchise fee with respect to Black Hills Energy natural gas franchise. And this is our second reading. Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Holm. Any discussion here? Anything you want to add?
Just that I took one phone call, and that was mostly relieved by the caller knowing that the 60% of the revenue goes right to property tax reduction, 40% goes to street improvements. So they thought that was an acceptable plan, and please know it didn't go into a general fund black hole.
Okay. If we have no more discussion, then take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
All right, next is item B. It's ordinance number 1211, ordinance granting to Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative its successors and assigns a non-exclusive franchise to erect, construct, reconstruct, maintain, and operate in the city of Maquoketa, Iowa, an electric system, and to furnish and sell electric energy to the city and its inhabitants, and authorizing the city to collect franchise fees from them. And this is the second reading.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Holm. Anything to add, Josh?
No.
Okay, Ben, any discussion? Take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Item C is an ordinance, number 1212. Ordinance granting electric transmission franchise to ITC Midwest. And this too is a second reading.
So moved.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Alinger. Anything for this?
I do not, Mayor. I
Okay.
apologize.
Go
Thank
ahead
you.
and take the roll.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Now we make it to new business. Item A is a resolution committing $40,000 payable of the American Rescue Plan Act Fund and approving purchase of a police vehicle and uplifting it in the amount of $60,514. Brendan?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, this vehicle kind of came upon us by accident, I guess. We're pretty lucky to get it. Currently, vehicles are at a premium in the law enforcement world. We've been, if you remember, you approved a purchase of a 2000 SUV Ford Explorer back in February that was supposed to be delivered between 90 and 120 days. We're still waiting on that. We actually got word that it was supposed to be built mid-December. The very next day, then got word that's pushed back till February. In my conversations with my contact out at the Ford company, they told us that we'd have possibly the opportunity for a 23 Ford F-150 deliverable by the end of this month. because they had not a state law enforcement entity that backed out of it. Right now, we're looking, it says in the packet here to get rid of Squad 265. That's not our oldest squad, but it's the one that's given us the most trouble. It's a 2017 Ford Explorer with approximately 135,000 miles on it. I know some people out there might be saying, well, that's not a lot of miles on a vehicle, but with the idle time and the way we drive them, I can assure you it is. And then on top of that, that vehicle has spent probably no less than 4 months in the shop over the last 12 months. Currently, it has a transmission that's failing, and to replace it would be about $5,000. And that won't fix the miss that's happening, so it also might be need an engine replaced. So it's a failing squad, so that's why we're looking to trade that one in. This was an opportunity that came up, and it's a good one for us to try to replace an aging fleet. Our newest squad car is a model 2021 year, which is really more about 3 years old because usually they're a year ahead of when they actually went in service. So it's just a way for us to try to keep ahead and try to keep our fleet operable and not have them in the shop.
So moved.
Before you move on, may I add a comment? I apologize, just 1 second. I just want to disclose that this is outside the purchasing policy of the city because it's about $500 above state bid price, and I push this along to you quickly because if we don't go, it's going to go to some other agency, and I'm sure that can happen very fast. And so I assume you're okay with that, but just know that this is just a bit above, about $500 above the 23 state bid prices, which is what they called Brendan for. And said, hey, do you want it? And to us, I don't know what choice do we have right now. And so I just wanted to disclose that to you so you can make the decision.
Okay. Colister made a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Okay, seconded by Holm. Do we have any discussion? Then take the
Yeah,
roll.
I have something I'd like
Okay.
to just ask. What happens when the other vehicle you're waiting for becomes available? We're gonna buy that too, or?
We would still have the intention to purchase that one too.
Okay,
And then we'd actually be looking to trade in our 2019 Dodge Ram truck that has a little bit lower miles, electing to keep an older vehicle in the fleet. And the reason for that one is mechanical issues. We've had some issues with that. That one currently has about 77,000 miles on it, and the cam and lifter has been replaced in it twice. Once under warranty, once not under warranty, to the tune of about $7,000 last year. So we just haven't had much luck with that vehicle, and instead of holding on to it and possibly having to replace that again, we'd rather send it down the road and hold on to maybe an older squad that's been a little bit more reliable and something that we can designate more for myself, who don't actively patrol as much, or even our school resource officer, that it's a reliable vehicle but won't have as many miles on it. So
thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, then take the roll.
Simonson,
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Brendan. Item B is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 in the amount of $472.50 and final payment to Valentine Construction in the amount of $11,778.50.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'll turn over to Frank here, but this comes after final measurements, so go ahead, Frank.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, during the construction of the handicap ramps and the roadway gutter, I made some changes. We added and subtract some curb and gutter, and we made the roadway gutter a little bit bigger, so that's why there's an increase of $472.
Okay.
I'll move.
Okay, we have a motion by Lyon, seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion or questions? Take the roll.
Just one thing. I was actually there today, went over there and looked it over real well. Looks like they did a really good job. Very happy with it from what I've seen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Retaining wall's coming too, so that's kind of been a question we've had is, I think you met with that person today, in fact.
Okay, anybody else? Then take the roll.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item C is a resolution approving the independent engineering review services contract with Reggae Engineering in the amount of $30,000 for the Platt Street project. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't know what the proper pronunciation is either on that, but this is for our independent review and of the engineering, the bid set plans for the Platt Street project. So I don't want to get too far into the detail on this, other than the fact that we need an individual available to do an outside review, and this is what this is for, in combination with the prior origin agreement that acts as a supplementary service to this action here.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Rickrell. Seconded by Colister. Any discussion? None? Take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D is a resolution approving amendment number 1 on the Iowa Economic Development Authority Destination Iowa Grant, number 23-DOR-006 for the Prairie Creek Recreational Project. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This one's a simple one. It just, largely, there's no cost impact here. There's no money being exchanged. It's some language simplification on the state's part to avoid confusion for auditors and managers such as ourselves throughout this project. So this came to us late last week. I reviewed it. There's no concern here. It's all related to striking out federal language.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Holm. Any questions or discussion? Take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item E is a resolution approving the purchase of real property. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is an interesting one to me. I don't know why this was still held in private property possession as a result of the, I think, O'Reilly Auto Parts store once upon a time, but they've received a number of property tax bills in the amount of $1 and have this year had enough, and so decided to call us and say, we don't believe this should be ours. It's utilized as public property. It's maintained as public property. We'd like to do the transfer. And so our city attorney didn't disagree at all, and so this is what's before you today. We did a title search to make sure there was nothing suspicious, and it's before you tonight to authorize, and there's no real change here because we've been maintaining about 80% of that parcel anyway.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Lyon, seconded by Alinger. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Colister.
Yes.
Oops, sorry about that. That does pass. Item 11, we made it to reports and communications. Anything from any of the council members? If not, city manager?
Just want to wish good luck to all the election candidates, and a bit of good news, the Community Foundation of Jackson County is awarding the City and Parks Board a Horseshoe Pond Rehabilitation Grant in the amount of $12,500. So we were successful in that pursuit of recruiting some assistance from Jackson County Community Foundation, and I've been thinking about pursuing a Wellmark grant with all these matches coming into it to see if we can do something else down there too. But been talking with Frank and thinking about our project capacities this winter and into next spring, and what this results in is some aerators in Horseshoe Pond, pulling out one dock and adding 2 docks down that way, and affording a 1-year supply of pond treatments, and then also thinking about a circular trail around Horseshoe Pond so that it isn't so it can be more enjoyed by the public, let's put it that way. It wasn't really something to be proud of this summer, and we intend to change that.
Okay. Anybody else?
What was the amount on that?
$12,500 from the Community Foundation, and then there's the Parks Board CIP, so it's a sizable project.
Okay. All right. And as Josh said, make sure you get out and vote tomorrow, because if you don't vote, you can't complain about government. I entertain a motion to adjourn. Got a motion by Colister, seconded by Alinger. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.